What we're doing is a shift from production focus to development focus. In the years past, it's about developing leaders of character. The new mission now puts a focus on what we're going to do with those leaders of character. Not that character isn't hard to achieve. Some cadets come into the program with it, and some cadets develop it throughout their time here. Some cadets never get it, and those are the folks that end up dropping the program. But we want character to be almost second nature to the readiness we're going to need for you to fight and win our nation's wars. And that's that shift in the mission statement from producing a leader of character to developing a leader of character that will fight and win our nation's wars.
Get things clear, concisely, you want to do that once. So one thing you have to use is volume. I know it's harder for some of our cadets, right? You can't really get your voice to project, but it's a skill you will have to learn. Because as a leader, you will have to be loud. When you're standing in my shoes or your LO's shoes, you will need to be able to use your volume to project your message across to your people. All right, we're transitioning.
So this will be our kind of social media type of like postings and stuff like that. And then you guys are going to be our public outreach.
Lead Lab wise, we needed to start by developing people's skills in actual GLPs. So understanding how to, mission plan, how to set goals, how to use their team. So introducing that way we can now build on the larger skills of actual, more applicable GLPs. The mission planning, the goal setting, the actual execution, so the teamwork side of things, and then the debriefing skills. Plan, execute, debrief. That is a huge point that I want to hit on. We're constantly honing in on those skills, so we're planning. We're making sure that every detail is accounted for and that we're not leaving anything behind. When we're executing, we have our good teamwork. We can rely on each other to execute that mission. And then debrief, just always revamping and getting better and better and better and continuing to make ourselves the best we can be.
14-minute warning.
Understood, thank you. Group leaders on me.
We have a minute. So
Unfortunately, it's just like combining
the F-15.
So
this is going to take about 400.
So first we're going to be taking out the SAM site with the F-22, and we're going to be using a 1 GBU 300.
What you're seeing this semester is the gradual shift. And so what I think you're seeing in PT is a little bit increased intensity. Cadet Johnson and his group commanders have taken the load of saying, how can we transform what we've been doing for decades in PT and Lead Lab into this new mission set?
Right, it's super important to develop the people into what we need. So we've started with making sure that our fundamentals are down PT-wise, so making sure that our form looks good. That way we can get a good workout when we do start ramping up these PTs in the later half of the semester. For an advanced transition, it's super important for the flight commander, at least, to have that critical thinking and that forward thinking, right? They need to set a plan for themselves, but not only that, the team needs to work together, right? They have to have that critical teamwork to know when and where to help their flight commander, or whether to, kind of let them figure it out as they go. Sure, so I think it's a milestone in the fall semester, at least this semester, because we're moving so quickly. I want to say that we've never necessarily reached an advanced transition of that scale this early in the semester. We were basically at midterms at that point. And so I think it's a big milestone because now we've chopped that drill instruction in half and we can focus now, right? We've built the foundation and now we can build those actual warfighter mindset GOPs where we're actually using real, aircraft and systems and in a simulated way, employing those weapons in a very similar way to you might do on active duty. And so I think by accomplishing it so early, it gives us plenty of time to do that. And then it also sets us up really well next semester when we're starting to teach those ACE concepts to truly dive in and get a really good experience in the spring. But then again, they focus on that mission planning and that goal setting to truly execute the mission. And then additionally, at the very end, they need to be able to debrief and go over the points that they worked on well, that they didn't work well, and possess those historical outcomes for the future so they can better accomplish the mission next time.
Look, what's the time hack? Call it half right. Hard. Yeah, stand down.
I was a wing commander in ROTC at NC State. We had just shy of 200 cadets in my day. I had nowhere near the empowerment that the cadets here have. Almost like I always had training wheels on, right? Here, I noticed from day one as I'm observing that these cadets were very autonomous. And I almost never wanted, I had training wheels to put on them if they needed them, but it got to the point where it's at some juncture of my assignment that I threw those things away because I knew that this detachment didn't need them.
Preparing to become warfighters, we need to continue to become a sharper sword, right? We need to better ourselves every day in order to achieve this goal. And I hope that realizing, hey, in a few years, we might end up in a conflict. We need to be the best versions of ourselves, and we need to leave this detachment better than we found it so that next generation of leaders, right, if they find themselves in a conflict, they're better than they were when they came in. So I hope that it's just kind of like an ever-going cycle of developing people better than they were when they came in.